All right, we're gonna run some. Gotta love it. I love it. Burner accounts. Can everybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? We're trying a little different here. Let's see. Maybe I can get this thing to go. See. Video's good. All right, video's good. How audio good? Is the audio horrible? Let's see here. Sound is a little choppy per usual at first. Does this sound better now? Hello. We're just you gotta love this. You gotta love this. Ooh, no, don't do that. Let's see, Josh. Well, how you doing, buddy? My mom's in here, of course. Does it sound okay? Is it bad? I'm trying something new. Intro does not work. Sounds louder, but still breaking up a smudge. Okay, a smidge. All right, just bear with me, guys. Damn chopper. It's probably a little choppy. Video. Oh no, this chair is horrible. Because the AC unit's still wanting to push air out, and that's probably where I'm getting. That's why I'm getting a little feedback or a little choppiness. I'm working on it. This is bad. I love it. So what happens when I did turn it off. I did turn it off. It's off, but the fan just still blowing. So I don't know if you guys can hear that. Just bear with me. Carlos should be coming in, but this is what I get for trying to do stuff on the road. So I did do some. Have you guys seen these? These are some retro. Oh my gosh, these are some old that have been in my family. It's been in my, and I was like, okay, cool, I can use them. And I'm gonna bring this over, but check it out. I don't know. Does that sound better? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I do have a mic. We'll see. Fan is kind of nice. Very. Is any better? Can you guys hear me? Just let me know. I'm trying to work with the mic. Like this is. I did do a test run with Jordan Shady J, and he said everything. So just let me know if I need to turn it down or turn it up. Feed. Headphones look killer, and the mic is definitely better and louder. Okay, so turn that up. Is that clearer? Is that better? And I'm still waiting on Carlos, so bear with me. I'm gonna try. What happens when you do live? Live is always fun. All right, I'm going to run the intro real quick. Let's see if this works. All right, so I don't know how that came through, but it wasn't that great. So I'm still trying. Still testing it. This is all new stuff, as you can clearly see. I am not at home, so just bear with me. I'm waiting. Come on in. Come on. All right, so let me bring the chat back up. So, let's see here. Yes, the headphones were bought in Guam. Believe it or not, yes, these are Pioneers from 1972. Phenomenal. They're flawless. There's no rips, tears, no rust, no nothing, and they sound amazing. So I'm just waiting on Carlos. Went through. We're good. So, all right. Is everything running a little better? Is it good? Bad? Like, Carlos, y'all bear with me. This is what happens when you do live on the road, and I'm working with it like this. Very, very cool. Okay. Really, one owner. Actually, my mother's one owner. I'm the second owner. Stays in the family, right? All right. Jeremy saying it's choppy. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that. I'm working on it, guys. I really am. This is so to do on the road because I am literally at the mercy or just regular service, and I'm out in Garnett, Kansas. If you don't know where Garnett, Kansas is, look it up. So I'm literally kind of in the boonies. I'm out in the boonies of Kansas, but that's right. So, but it's probably going to be a little choppy, and since this is so hard to do on the road, it really is. I thought, okay, headphones, I got a mic, a little bit, but unfortunately, with it being choppy due to service, it's a little hard to. But I'm waiting on Carlos, which he is here. And with him in here, Carlos, just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I didn't see it. Did you give me a thumbs up? Just tell me when you're ready. Just go like this, and I'll pull you in. Then we'll kind of start this and see how it goes. He's getting his camera set up. He's down in that corner. That corner. That corner. My camera's on this side. That oh my gosh, that corner right here. So I'm just waiting on him. So okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this going. It's manageable, bro. Real friends will stay. And that's true. Thank you so much. I appreciate those headphones. Fucking mint. Absolutely. Yes. Vinny, what's up, boss? I see you, buddy. I really do. I got you. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the whole countdown because of the service. I'm just going to kind of run with this. So here we go. It is Tint'er Tuesday. Y'all know what it is right here, live down because it's a really, really bad chair. So bear with me on that. We are actually. I am doing some training with a female installer. She's absolutely phenomenal. Family does all that stuff, and she's like, I want to learn how to tint. I'm like, let's go. Super nice guy, and he's like, I just need to get this going. Okay, cool. Bunch of film, and that were all supplied by different people and different companies, and I thought work, and we're gonna do something. So we've been busting our butts all day, and let me tell you, it is hot as Kansas. It is absolutely unbearable. But anyways, good. Love it. It's gonna be going. I'm buying you a 5G mobile hotspot for. I can't help it. I'm trying to work out the bugs in this when I'm traveling. It's super hard to do. At least the sound is better. I've heard the sound was better, but we're gonna run it in. Hey, Carlos. If you guys don't know who Carlos is, he is the Texas Squeegee. He is live from. Are you in Houston right now? Carlos? Yes? Yeah? I think he's in Houston. Shot this. So I'm going to bring Carlos in, and we'll see how this runs. And if it's a shit show, comments over here, and we'll end it because we're doing the best we can. So here we go. 3, 2. Carlos. Okay. You need to say something, so because I can't hear you. I don't know what he's saying because I can't hear him. Can anybody? Am I the only one that can? Can anybody hear? This is so funny. Carlos! Carlos video is smooth, no sound. Carlos, no sound. Cannot hear you. See, guys, this is see, it's not just me.
How about now?
Hey,
nothing.
There. Nothing. Nope, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to my headset.
It's
other one.
Off a little bit. Yeah, it's the sound is off a little. We'll get it straightened out.
Now on my end.
I'm sorry. What?
I said on my. Hear you cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, you're cutting out real bad.
How about now?
Okay. I can hear you, but you audio a second. So,
Dude, like yours cuts in and out.
he needs to change the restream settings to earpods. Is your restream setting set to earpods? Audio. All right, can you hear me better now?
How's that? Better?
No, it's still off. Yeah.
Sit microphone. How about this one?
Let's see. Let's hear it. What you got?
All right. It's the Texas Squeegee. No.
So it's like watching a really bad moves, and then the volume next. We're trying to do this. It is what it is. And nothing's perfect. So
So everything is delayed.
Everything's delayed. I'm not sure if it's.
Can you hear?
Yeah, you're coming in and out too. It's a close this and do a clubhouse. I'm not gonna close this and do a clubhouse. Sure. Anyways, I do like the new haircut, dude. I like that style.
It's
styling.
I showed them a picture. I want to look like this guy.
You're such a dork. So listen, if this is like a listen. Oh God. Oh my gosh. I mean, we can talk about it if you want. I'm totally down. I don't care. You know me. I don't care.
Same old stuff. Different. I mean, just today, you know, whatever. Bro, it's honestly not even a big deal. Like I really don't care. It's just some people got kicked out. They didn't survive the W for our purge. So, and I was one of the non-survivors.
Same here. Same here. It is
Hey,
what it is.
Zero violations. The rules were not changed. I don't know. One day one hit me up. One of my shooters was like, "Hey, you're not in the group no more." And I'm like, "What?" And I looked up and I was like, "Oh, so it was one of them weekends." So
yeah, it's
yeah.
what it is. I really don't care. I don't. I don't know what Marco was talking about. He said if you listen again, the internet connection will get terminated. Listen.
Marco's hunted by
Oops. But now it's like embedded in my head, and I mean it is what it is. So I don't know what we're talking about. There is a specific group on Facebook that decided to put us off without notice and no reason. So
no reason.
Someone until I saw someone make a post about it, and then, of course you were tagging me the other day. I was just like, oh really? So I went to go see if I was out, and yep, I got and all that stuff, and I'm like, whatever. I don't give two shits. It is what it is. Anyways.
Yeah. Plus, man,
how are things going over there in what? Go ahead.
Wow, I was just gonna say, life's to be dealing with kind of stuff, man. I don't know, like over here down at the dude, it's banging. Like TikTok is a freaking monster. Hey, I'm hiring, so if anybody wants to hire, especially if you know flat glass and what talk to me, I will keep you busy 27 hours a day, 366. Squeegee that.
That you are absolutely dominating the TikTok side of the window tinter. It's absolutely unreal. Like I see your TikToks and they're just like absolutely going viral. That's huge. And the leads. So let's just tell everybody about the leads. So you posted a video. Was that last week? Right?
There was one.
The most recent TikTok.
Yeah, one on Thursday, one on Friday, and one of the ones that actually the one that almost got to 1 million views. That one by TikTok, and TikTok, it was a dumb reason. Put it back on there, and then it got up to like 800 and something thousand views, and then there was 140, and both of them together over the course of that weekend pulled in leads. I would say about maybe 85% of those were here locally in Houston and some of the surroundings, and then you have those that are around like Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and then a few scattered throughout. Philippines contacting us. We got people from Germany, Italy, the UK, man, dude, everywhere. Canada, Toronto, Canada. We got pretty good hits over there. I looked at my analytics from over the place, and so I don't know, man. It's just doing what we're doing. Like it was on automotive and YouTube, and then the next big platform was flat glass for TikTok, and so I mean, and he's watching. He knows. Same thing with Pete. We were banging out some flat glass. But dude, I got like 3 for the amount of work that we've got probably about 4 times the amount of leads and work coming through that we can actually handle. So I'm looking for superstars. I'm looking for freaking like quality grade A at what you do, and you know what you're doing. Come talk to me because you're dealing with a guy who knows what he's doing. Come talk to me. I'm putting together a badass team. Like TTM is going to be changing within the next 2 years, and your team from here into 2 years. So I'm excited for what's coming through it. A lot more ideas. I can't execute on every single one of them, but as we start to build out that team, we do just on a more consistent basis with much more appeal. And who knows what the future is going to hold. It's like, hey, we got a couple fires and we got some fuel. Let's them on the fire and see what happens.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it. I remember not long ago you were like, "Hey, I really want to get in the flag," and you jumped into it. Then you were like, "Is it worth it?" And I remember the little bit of struggle of get it really kind of, growing and getting it there. And now you're so you can't even get to everybody, and that's huge. You should be really, really proud of yourself, because that would love to have that problem, and you're the one that has the problem, but you don't have the manpower to. You're doing something right. You are on the social media side, and you're absolutely killing it. So if anybody is watching this, if anybody out there is looking for a job, even if it's temporary, or just you want to move and go to Houston, this guy right here to absolutely feed you for a very long time. So,
well,
you're doing it.
Like, dude, I'm open. It's like even if they want to come down, like if somebody wants to come down even for the season, for a month, talk to me, let me know your rates. Let's figure out what works best for both sides, and like let's, like, you got what I mean? Like, let's figure it out. We'll figure it out. So, like I said, I'm looking for pretty much at this point. I mean, I won't take anything. Like, you got to know what you're doing. But need one flat glass guy. Like, we probably need about a good two to three flat glass automotive installers, and then we're gonna need a full-time consult and another admin. Dude, we just moved into that shop, like 4,000 square feet of space. We just moved into it within 2 years, easy.
It's unreal. It's unreal to see the growth that you've last year. It's ridiculous. I mean, good for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. But I attribute, like Eric Devash, David Saro, Mark Cazorla. But yeah, I mean, it's David Carley is another great person that I rely on for. You got to put yourself around people that, for one, that they genuinely care how well your well-being, because they'll tell you. And then number two, you got to be open to criticism, because what happens is if somebody tries to be honest with you about something, and you know that they're got your best intentions, and they honestly get offensive, I guarantee you they're not going to come back to you, because they're not going to feel that sense of openness. And so, with like people that generally want to see you do well, and always if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the one where you're the dumbest guy there, and just hang in, because it's not comfortable. And that's the thing, when you put where everybody else is smarter than you, like, that's not a comfortable position, because you feel like you're stay there, freaking just show up and stay there, and then you start to elevate yourself. I might just will save you so much years of trials and tribulations and whatnot. So I'm grateful, man, for I'm really more grateful for the people that I have in my life. Like, I'm so grateful about it. The business, whatever it's doing, like that. At the end of the day, it's a job. Cherish the relationships like with you and everybody that I've met through this, and everybody that I've gotten to know. Than having a shop. So,
well, I mean, we all like having you too. The feeling's mutual, more or less. I mean, it is.
It kind of sucks. There's definitely like an audio delay, and it sucks because like try to talk to you, but that's all right. When I say something, I'll wait, and that'd be that thing. Like, I haven't talked to you in kind of a little bit. How's the whole gig with Autobikes like? Are you still doing trainings for everybody, or is it just Autobahn dealers? What's going on?
You totally cut out on that. So, hey, I mean, on my end, it was literally like every other word, but that's what other people heard or not. But okay. Go ahead and try to repeat it. Let's see if it works. I don't know.
Let me
What's going on. I may actually have to. I think I lost Carlos. Oh, he's drinking. Wow, that's such a delay. Oh man, I have to switch platforms. Let's see here. Are you still training? Oh, that's what Shady just said. I guess he's calling out what you asked. Are you still there? Okay, you're still there. So nothing's been written at Autobahn dealers yet. I know it's available. If and Dillinger asked me to do it, I will do it. But as of right now, what I'm doing has already been pre-scheduled before I came on with Autobahn. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the future holds for that. So it hasn't been really discussed yet. I saw that. Y'all need a parrot in the background. David, go figure.
That was a fun time. Yeah, man. It's like I was asking how race boards for easy racing and rewriting.
No clue.
Hey, did you say that you were?
Science. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I said, did you start the restream or?
It's not restarting. It's not going to do anything because I have restream. So even if I leave and restart it, it's not going to change anything. It's connection out here because of where I'm at, and I'm doing the best I can. So,
yeah, man. So what do we got to do? A 5B bar. Because you're not you. You're
gonna have me servers. I gotta figure something out. This is something I'm still trying to figure out on the traveling side, because I don't have everything. So I'm still kind of I still try to do the show, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, what do you do? I mean, magician, I can't just give myself, service, and I'm doing the best I can. That great, and they're just regular service on the iPad is actually better, so that's what I'm trying to work with. So,
how's the sound? Can you hear me? Because hey, you cut out.
See, so your sound is like there for a little bit, and then you cut out on certain words.
So like you're cutting out on my end too. It just like in makes sense, like something like that.
Stay with the better internet again today didn't help out. I think honestly, anyone knows sign language. I can't do that. No. What Restream app? I think I need to go to a different I think provider for this and try something different, but because there's a different one out there that's not. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's Restream or if it's all service or not. Trying things. This is what's fun about live, and I. Oh, no, wait. Where'd he go? Oh shit. Carlos! There. Can you hear me, Carlos? I can hear you shaking your head. Okay. Add more rabbit ears. I'm just watching. I'm looking at all these. Why not YouTube directly? YouTube directly, and the only thing is I wouldn't be able to stream to Facebook, so we'll try it. An amount of followers to YouTube directly, I believe. Not sure though. I'm gonna have to look into that, and I'm down for trying anything, and I'm still learning. Still can't add people if he doesn't. If he does YouTube only. Oh, so you can't add people. All right, I'm just reading comments, dude. Carlos, what else do you want to talk about?
I did. I don't being a little weird. I don't even know if I start saying some stuff, you know, like jacking up. Maybe we can have like a off the cuff conversation. That's interesting.
Phone call after this.
I guess.
Yes.
No, but
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, just kind of keeping up to date. Yeah, and I am looking to hire. So, on other note, I have been working out a little bit more because I gained weight. Getting ready for it. So WFCT is coming up, right? Are you going there? WFCT?
I don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Is Dave Dellinger in the chat? Dave, come on, bro. Is my man Jason going there?
Dave doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what's going on. We'll see.
Autobahn and Hooper got 2 different boots this year. Boots.
I can't. Hey, anyways, why don't you make a TikTok about hiring and put lead form on the caption? People off of TikTok that are looking maybe to learn and get into things. I don't know. Jordan just said
it's an interesting situation because I'm not sure that I want to start off with a new person at the moment. But we got this much work going in. Frankly, adding a new guy to the mix is just adding another job to everybody. And right now, we don't need to add more jobs. Right now, we need more people for the jobs that we already have. So I would be open to hiring someone new, but it really would have to be the right person, wise and talent. Like I have to see a potential in that person. Otherwise, to me, it just doesn't make sense like that. So, you know, I'll give an example. Like when Sam first came on board, and this is kind of a fun. I'm not saying anything I haven't told him, but Sam came on board because of a recommendation from Jason. Kind of put the word from us. To me, it kind of sort of like jumped in front of the line. Came down for an audition, the full day. And the thing was, pay attention to Sam's skills. I just knew that he got along with the team really well. And was willing to move from Colorado to Houston. So I thought, like, hey, he's willing to make that jump, you know, to train him up and get him up to speed. So then when he started with us in January, I realized that, like, wow, I guess I really didn't pay attention because he was like a lot more greener than I thought. But he's made a lot of progress, and he's done well, man. Like when I first brought Tesla was unheard of. Like it wasn't even like a thing, and now he's doing back windows. Which is pretty. Eric's pretty good. but Sam was out tinting him, and dude, they're so funny. Like in the shop, whenever me and Pete will team up when we work out. If Saturdays is the days where I'm still slinging. The rest of the days I'm doing more business stuff. But Saturday back, we go do tint installations, and me and Pete will team up, and my brother Eric and Sam it's fun. It's so fun. I'm gonna get us all at the Expo Dealer Conference. We're gonna put on a show. Vinny, I do by Galveston, but you might want to Google it. It's not necessarily. Tell you what, dude. Like
it's not a beach, but there's a.
I think like you'll be able to go anywhere you want, any beach that you want. Don't worry about the beach. You can go to any of them.
It's true. That is true. Oh man. Oh, and I don't know what happened to Carlos. Funny. This is horrible doing it that way. If anybody has any suggestions on how to do this better on the road, suggestions, because I would like for this to run so the audio is clear, be very clear here. So suggestions, please let me know and have it better. I'm trying.
Hey, I like Jordan's perspective on it. It's I love the show because it's not perfect, and tinting isn't perfect. It's just a good time, right?
Yeah, no, and I appreciate. This is if anybody wants to try to do this, just all off my phone did not help. I actually did it before, but it did not work because my phone it's really bad service where I'm at. If it's off my phone or straight off the iPad, I have service and Wi-Fi on my iPad. None of them is that great. So,
hey, on a different note, when you come back down to Houston to at TTM, I got you AC now. We got some AC in the shop.
For that, and I'm sure your team.
Yeah, but here's the second part to that news. You're gonna be on flat glass. Just kidding.
I don't
No,
know.
it's a lot of fun. Man, it's quite the expense, but it's worth it because the work culture and the work environment is super important to me. So, having the guys be happy out there. This is the thing, man. Look, somebody said something and it's true. And hopefully I don't cut out on this because it's 1,000% facts. But, there's a lot of shop owners out there that are experiencing a labor shortage, and everybody's like, oh, there's a labor shortage everywhere. There's not enough tinters. Well, there's also, like somebody said, there's also a leadership shortage too. You can't expect quality installers if the leadership doesn't reflect that as well. So, and also the work environment too. So one of the questions that I've talked with, I commonly asked installers is like, hey, what will it take to get your best version? because I feel like that's my job, is to put you in a position where you're gonna shine and where you're gonna do your best work. It's kind of like you wouldn't task a fish with with a task to climb a tree. It's just not for that. Saying like you don't judge a fish by its ability to climb trees. You don't do that. You find people and see what their strengths are. You see what they're good at, what they're not good at, and then you just talk to them. And that's the one thing I feel like gets overlooked at a lot, especially going through the Facebook groups and seeing the questions that a lot of people have, and then the answers that people give in the comments. Like a lot of them, every once in a while, I'll tell you, I will say this. This is just me, my observation, but for the most part, the real answers, like the legitimate quality answers, you're not going to find them in the comment section. And I think it took me a while for me to realize that, because I would listen to I would read the comments and I would kind of try things out, and they wouldn't work out. Like I had to learn it the hard way. I had to do it, mess up, and then fix it. And obviously now, like I have people that I talk to and advice and stuff like that. It's kind of sad the amount of bad advice that people give on these groups, because there are other people like I once was. I didn't know any better, and I didn't know anybody. I had no network. I didn't know any of this stuff, and so I was gullible, and I would listen to the advice, and it didn't work out. And so but there is definitely a leadership shortage. Like this industry's got so much potential. By the way, like XFL, and I don't know anything about this, so I'm not gonna comment what I think on it. Well, whatever. I probably will. I don't know. Maybe you might say something about it. But XFL just had like an investor come in, like an investor group, and bought out 10% of the company, and it's like one of the biggest firms, and like one of the biggest investment firms in the world, or something like that. So, anyways, to me, what that meant was that this industry is getting ready to pretty much have like some type of mainstream, some kind of attention. I don't know, but like it's very underrated industry for sure. I feel like it's very underrated. Like it's BlackRock. Yeah, there's so much opportunity in the industry, and that, anyways, a lot of these shop owners, like they don't conduct themselves like a business. They don't conduct themselves like a leader. And so when they try to go out and recruit, they complain that they don't get quality talent, but none of their approach is quality. And sometimes they don't know any better, and that's okay. But oftentimes the sad part is whenever you have someone who doesn't know any better, who thinks that they do, and then tries to, tear down other people who have differing opinions. But anyways, I'm known for asking the question a lot. Hey, what will it take for you to get your best version? Because I will do my best to provide that. And if having a like air controlled or climate controlled environment is one, then cool. Like if that's what it's going to take, if it's going to improve the everyday lives of the people working at the shop, then yeah, 1,000%, let's do it. Like I am very willing to invest when it comes to making operations better, finding easier ways to do things. Like, TintWiz was a huge game changer for us. And, you find ways to make it easy, be more efficient, and you're more efficient, you can handle more. And so, yeah, man, yeah. So anyways, kind of a long-winded answer, but we did get AC. Then the next thing was insulating the walls, which is what we're working on right now. Then we're going to do paint, because one of the things that really bothers me is that when we do content, it still looks like a warehouse. I don't want it to look like a warehouse. I want it to look like David Farrell's palace, where we had Tint'er battles 2022. I think it was like, with those shops inside, dude, it's like royalty. Hey, I want that. I want to walk into there. Like I want to walk me personally. I want to, if I was an installer, I would want to work somewhere where I got space. It's, climate controlled, like there's operating procedures. Everybody has a job. They know what they're doing. And it's just very easy to do the job. And that's what I try to focus on as the leader, is I try to find ways to make it easier for people to do what they need to do and do it great. So obviously, like, we want to put out good work. We want to put out good stuff. We want to hold a high reputation. The more likely that's going to happen depends on how the systems that I put in place that make it easier to get those results. So for example, if we want to hit 500 Google reviews, yeah, I could sit there and constantly be on my team like, yo, you got to ask for reviews. You got to ask for reviews. You got to ask for reviews. Or we can have a system that does it for us so that they don't have to do it. The system automatically does it. Next thing you know, you got 500 reviews and nobody's stressing out about, like, what did you do? You're not doing this. You're not following that, So that's what's happening. Oh, Shady J. Shady J, I love my rustic bay. Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, it comes down like, different things for different people. So, but yeah, dude, I mean it's yeah, like we got to get more peel boards, we got to insulate the entire building. And then on top of that, it's not even mine. So it sucks, but whatever. It's where we're at this stage in the game. We got to do with what we got. And 5 years from now, we'll probably be in our own skyscraper or something. I don't know. We'll be in a hovering shop. It'll be like hovering off the ground, and we could like move it and stuff. I was joking with the guys today, and I was telling them, I was like, you know what? If I had to build my own shop, I would give it the contractor, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna have a shop here, but those little blueprints that you brought me, and throw that shit away. Like, grab it, throw it in the trash. I want you to get blueprints the same way you would have like a big ass Yeti. Like, just think of a giant fucking like 7,000 square foot Yeti, and that's what I want as my shop. And then we'll put a cooling in, and it'll be like a giant refrigerator. That way, it's like super climate controlled. God, there's that much of a delay.
I took it off. No. I for some reason your voice, if I took the might hear any background. So it ran really. Put your whole spiel out there. It came out. I just put my mic on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How did you realize who are the right people to take advice from after taking? Oh, that's a great question. That's a really good question.
So, okay, I'm gonna put my mic on mute, and I'll go with that answer because this is stuff that people can actually use. Great advice. So, go ahead, Carlos. Go ahead and answer.
So, how did I realize that? Who are the right people to take advice from after taking bad advice? Well, like I mentioned earlier, you got to take, for one, when it comes to taking advice, when you take advice, you got to internally in your mind, if you don't know this person well, you always got to ask yourself the other question: what kind of credibility does this advice come from? So, you wouldn't take advice, you wouldn't take health advice from an overweight person. You want to take advice from the people that are actually doing it. And like, there's a lot of business coaches out there and a lot of trainers. It's seeming like there's a lot more trainers coming up. I don't know, and I might be wrong, but I want to say that the tendency for a lot of business owners to go the training route is because they hit a peak with their business, that they don't know how to move forward with their company, that in order for them to make more money, they start doing side hustles. And then you start spreading yourself thin, and that doesn't know well. But as far as who I started taking the advice from, just really came down to credibility. Like, the people that I'm taking advice from, what are they doing? Number one. And number two, what kind of motive do they have? So, I've run into people that have good advice, but they also have a motive. And like sometimes some people, like, I'll give you an example. Like, there are some people that look at you and they want you to work for them eventually. So they'll give you advice to help you out in a way, but only to a certain extent. They don't manipulative people. I'll give you this example. Manipulative people don't want you to see your own worth. You can't see your own worth, because then if you realize you don't need them, then it's kind of like the whole plan falls apart. So like, there's definitely people that you got to know their motives. And the other thing, a big thing, watch and observe how these people treat others and how they talk about those people behind their backs. That is a huge telltale sign, because if that person in front of them, you see them and they're buddies, but then when that person turns around and then they start talking crap about them to you, they're probably doing the same thing to you. So you got to be careful with that. Genuineness, obviously, is a big important factor, but I would say that one of the biggest things is really credibility. It comes down to what have they done. So, like the reason, like one of the guys that I take advice from, a lot of the guys that I take advice from is David Serro, the Pharaoh, and then Eric DeVash, the Tint was omnipotent, all-knowing. These guys are freaking savages. They're the real deal. They don't make a lot of noise, but oftentimes those are the guys that you want to take advice from. Now, I'm not saying it's hopefully they're not getting blown up and like, yo, I need advice. But there's so many great people out there. You just seek the people that are doing the things that you want to do and go to them for the advice. A lot of times it won't, how do I say this, man? Like people that are actually out there busy killing it, building something, don't usually have the time to be on Facebook or some of these social media groups and chit chatting and doing nonsense stuff. Not to say there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, but if you're on a mission and your mission is to grow and build and keep moving forward, full blast, 120 miles an hour, like you got to find people that are at a higher level and offer you that. And also, don't surround yourself by people that create an echo chamber either. That does you no good. There's no, like, how do I say this? There's no benefit and everybody agreeing with you. Because and it also gets kind of annoying too, because everybody goes along with everything that you're saying. There's no benefit to that. You want someone to challenge you, because in challenging, it challenges you to look at things in a different perspective. And you don't want yes people. Like you don't. You want people that want you to do well, but that are willing to call you out on your shit if you're not doing your stuff. So that's a really good question. I really like that. That's a really good question. Again, don't take business advice from non-business people. When it comes to Facebook groups, like that's the thing. People are asking like how to hire, how to pay, how to compensate. There's so many different ways to do things. Find somebody that's doing it and just reach out, and like anybody that reaches out to me, I'll tell you what I think is best. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you, like, I might be wrong. My disclaimer, it's like when investors take your money, it's like, hey, I'm going to invest your money, but we might lose it. And if you're okay with that, then we're cool. But if not, then you just know, hey, I may be wrong. I don't know everything. I'm still trying. I'm figuring it out just like everybody else. But I have moved past through obstacles in these last 2 years, especially this last year and a half, through a ton of obstacles that when I look at somebody's operation, I look at somebody's shop, and I kind of see where they're at. I know the struggles that they're having, and to kind of how to move forward. How to take, for example, how to take the step. Let's say you're an installer, you're an owner operator, you are your only employee, and how do you take that step to get your second employee? Yeah, there's a process for that. There's a step for that. There's like hey, this is what you're going to run into, and this is the kind of person you want to hire. Like those are all the things that I did not know. I was the worst hiring person ever. Like just give me that award. Like I was so terrible at it. I still remember like one of my first interviews I ever did. I set up an interview. This was like years ago. I set up an interview I was trying to find like other tinners, and I was so bad I could not bring on any experienced people. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just bring in somebody new. And I had no ideas what questions to ask. I didn't even know what to look out for. I had no idea. I started my business pretty early, so I never went through like a formal interview process with a company to kind of get an idea of what you're supposed to do. And then I'm an overthinker too. So the first interview I ever had, literally the person came in, and I kid you not, like my questions was kind of like, so yeah, we do tint. Would you be interested in that? And it's kind of like, no shit, that's why they're here. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Well, if you want to, we could start. And I remember the person saying like, wow, this is like the easiest interview ever. And I'm like, oh my God, it's because I don't know how to do them. Needless to say, that person didn't work out. Oh my God. Like, yeah, that person did not work out. They were, again, when I said earlier about putting people in the right position so that their strengths are utilized and, their talents are they have an outlet for the talents. Yeah. I learned that the hard way. That didn't work out. So, hey, you're back.
I never really left. I was just letting you go, and you were literally just that was asked. It was interesting. It was Tint'er, and I was sitting back going, I know exactly what. Good for you, man.
Yeah, that was a really good question. I'm assuming that's Cheyenne. She's using, I think, the company account on that. But that was a really good question. I really like that question.
Yeah, no, that was Cheyenne.
Bro, I like questions like those, like stuff that gets you thinking. So talking to Marco is talking to Marco's another person that I really like talking to about things. He has a very different way of thinking, and then also Eric Gavash. Like Eric's got such a unique perspective on things, and man, I love a great question that gets you thinking. Like I freaking love it. Like I love being wrong on things. Like I love when I find out I was wrong on something because it just I learned something. You know. Now you don't want to be wrong all the time because then you feel like an idiot. But oh, he said he could hear me better. Okay, cool.
But the thing is it's not being an idiot growing. So it's not. This is never a stupid question.
Yeah.
Whoever's been through that experience, it's never stupid. It's never dumb. No.
Man, dude. So I don't know if he watches, but a guy named I think it's Victor. Jeez, oh my God, this is so terrible. I think his name is Victor with PSG out in Jacksonville, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He's a man. He is young. He's got a shop out there, but he's one of those guys that like I truly wish him all the best. Like I really do because I see so much potential in him. But you know, he was at Tint'er Battles. Like his first experience, I think, seeing the industry was at Tint'er Battles 2022, and he said it changed his life. And you know, from then forward, I also saw him at the Autofilm Mastery. But man, I'm telling you, probably one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things in this life is when I spot talent. Spotting talent to me is like one of my. It's I don't know, man, because talent is rare. And I'm not tooting my own horn. Like I know I've got talent myself. So when I spot it in somebody else, it's like, dude, like we could do something. You know, like it's like I geek out. Same thing with content. When I talk content with people, I'm like a nerd with that stuff. I geek out on it because I love it. You know. So, but you know, Victor from PSG, he's a quiet guy, asks a lot of questions. You could tell has an eye for aesthetics because when you look at his social media, like he's definitely got something. And like to me, I get excited. It's kind of like whenever like some fishermen or some biologists they're out in the sea and then they find a dolphin or something and then they like put a tracker on it and then they kind of release it back and they're tracking because they want to see the movements. That's kind of how I am with him because like I'm really curious to see how he's going to do in the next couple of years because I truly do see potential. I really do. And he asks questions every once in a while, but I really see potential, and like I'm noticing like patterns with certain people. Like Pete, Crypto Pete was another guy. He worked with us in the past, and it didn't work out. And you know, like when we parted ways, it wasn't necessarily like all friendly and smiles and mutual. But you know, he's been a childhood friend, and when I threw a party, a TTM party, he came out to that party, and I was just talking to him, and kind of the thing about Pete that always stood out to me is that one of the things like he stood out to me from the very beginning when he started working with me, like when I was into flea market, he would tell me, it's like, I'm a grunt worker. Like I'm the guy in the back. I'm a grunt worker. Like, I'm the guy that's boom, like give it to me. And I'm like, hell yeah. Cause I'm the same way too. Like I'm the same way. Like, bro, you got me on that team. Like we're both going to go. So then, when we parted ways, probably a couple years later is whenever, kind of we met back up. He was at my party that I had thrown together about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago for Christmas. I talked to him for a little bit. The thing about Pete is I saw potential in him. And so whenever I brought him on board, he was a guy that was asking a lot of questions. And the one thing I knew about sales is that when you get the customer asking questions, that means they're interested. Like, that's a good thing. When people are asking questions, they're engaged, they're interested. It's a good thing. So, Pete asked a lot of questions, and now Pete's doing really, really well. Like automotive wise, he's a killer. He's a killer. He's good. He's really good. Like his quality answers are good. He's really open to stuff. He has more tools than I do, which I freaking love. I tell my guys all the time, like, cause I'm competitive, but I'm playful competitive. Like if I don't win, I don't care. Like I really don't. I care more about the fun that we have. But I'm competitive too. So when I go out in the shop and I'm slinging film with them, and it's like an hour later and I'm done with the truck and these other guys are still working on another one. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, man, I'm running circles around you guys. But I always tell them, I tell them, I want you guys to be better than me because I'm pretty damn good. And then if y'all are better than me, that means y'all are really damn good. And if y'all are really damn good, then the whole team as a whole is going to be really damn good. So I'd say it's a culture thing, man. Like I've had a few applicants that have been coming into the shop, and culture is probably the thing that I preach on the most. Company culture and work environment. This is your second family outside your home family, and it's a different management style. Again, I don't know how it's going to hold itself out in the future. I know of operations that like to keep people separate, which there's nothing wrong with. They're successful. I could see that, and I've seen operations as well where sometimes the team will turn against management, but I don't know, man. Like I'm rolling with the punches. Like, hey, this is the playbook that I'm rolling out, and if it doesn't work out, I'll tell you guys. And hey, don't do what I did. But if it does, and here's an example of something that's successful. So, oh yeah, Pete is the best communicator, dude. I'm telling you, when me and Pete, so Marco, when me and Pete work together, because I love the way Pete communicates. I absolutely love it. And I love communicating that way too. And to give people an example, whenever me and Pete are working together, you guys ever see waitresses or waiters at a restaurant whenever they're like coming up behind you, or it's like, 5 minutes till go time or 5 minutes till this or whatever. It's like it's like you're thinking out loud. That's how me and Pete communicate. We're working together as a team. So Marco, the haircut. So we work together as a team. So whenever we get a vehicle in, a lot of times I take shotgun. Just is what I was been used to. Like I start directing. Like, okay, you go and start on this. I'll go start on that. Somebody will start on the plotter. I'll go start prepping the vehicle, or vice versa. Things like that. When you work together as a team, we just got to keep communication open, man. Like there's no such thing as over communication, but there's definitely under communication. And to under communicate is way too easy. If you're in doubt, always do over communicate. What was it? Somebody said, what's your face? No, wait. I mean, Coloco.
What's
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne? No,
Yeah.
it's back. So listen, I've been around Pete quite a few times. Great installer. The communication side absolutely does, and he's been like that. He's just like taught to me, hey, and he's just a great. Sam is awesome. I'm not saying it. Just Pete is just he is.
No,
but yeah.
I'll tell you what, with Sam is very I don't know, how do I say this? I've never seen the dude have a bad day ever. It's weird. I don't know what he does, but I've never seen him mad ever. I've never seen him I never hear him complain. He's never, I don't know, what needs to get done, he gets it done, and it's just yeah, we're there. And the dude just does it with a smile. He's I don't know. He's really peaceful. He's got I don't know, a real, a wholesome, genuine soul. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, Sam's come a long way too, man. Both in flat and automotive, he's come a long way. He's gotten a lot better, and I'm glad we hung on to him too. Are you frozen?
There we go. Now you're back. Let's see here. It was it's probably asking what other marketing do you do? Do you do anything else on the marketing side?
Yeah, I'm not as good as I would like to have been on this, but definitely SEO, search engine optimization on the website is another strategy there, which goes hand in hand with content. But for the most part, content is the main reason, the main thing, dude. Like I said, I have so many ideas for generating more attention and exposure and leads. What's the point? It's if we got a gallon jug and it's already overflowing with water. There's no point in me trying to grab more water to throw it in there. We've got to do something to catch up. That's the figuring out part too, because like getting this type of influx of inquiries, it's new. I'm not used to it, but it's like anything else. It's a challenge, and it's one big challenge with a bunch of tiny little challenges inside it, and you just start tackling them one by one. Get this one, get that one. Everything presents a challenge too, though, because it's not just as easy as that's how he got 3 girls. Is he talking about me? Oh, is he talking about Sam?
Now, I think she's talking about Sam.
Yeah, I bet you. Sam's funny, man. He's a funny guy. Yeah, but anyways, no. Anytime you want to take a growth spurt in your company, it's one giant challenge built up of a bunch of little challenges inside it, and you got to do one after the other, and everything presents a challenge. Like you want to go out and hire. Okay, cool. That's a challenge. But then how do you hire? Well, that's another challenge. You get somebody on board. If they don't have experience, how do you go about it? Dude, I would love to. Like, I think I really would get a lot of enjoyment out of helping other people, figure out their shop operations and grow. Like, I think I would really, really love it. And, I've talked about it with you in the past. Like, I would like to just even try it, just to go to somebody's shop and just kind of like, but they would have to be the right person though, because I really would hate to waste my time with someone who's not open to changing things. But I would love to go to somebody's shop and kind of like work with them. I really don't care about making money off of it. I just want to do it more to help improve people's lives. But just go to somebody's shop and just help them out based on the stuff that I've learned. And then, hey, while I'm there, let's do some content. And fuck, dude, if I can get them going viral and just on one video, like I'd feel so cool about that. Like, it's there's so much more meaning to your life whenever you can change somebody else's life for the better. And so, if that'd be cool. It's something that's been on my mind, but yeah, things are just too busy now. But I think it's something I might do in the future for sure. Because I see operations and I see so many holes and stuff like that. And so, Carlos, flat glass or auto? We do both. We do both, and we're hiring for both. So,
is actually asking, but going back on what like you said, go on and not even get paid. I love going and installer. I absolutely love it. This installer that I'm helping this week, I actually had someone. I think it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and available and help out with things and this and that here today. And I was like, that's new,
dude,
right?
I can't.
And it literally, hear me?
No. I hear like,
oh no.
Out of 3 words, I hear like 1.
So do me a favor. Hit mute on your mic. Sorry, can you hear me now? No? Okay. That's my end or not. That's okay. Oh, is it better?
So, okay, now I see the question he was asking for. He said, auto or flat glass. There's different. I don't know. There's different perspectives on it. I guess as an installer, I don't know. I honestly can't. I can't. I don't know. I can't. I don't think I could choose. It's like there's a little bit different things. Like, okay, I'll tell you what I like about both. What I like about the automotive side is that everything is there. You're at the shop. Everything is there. You're familiar with your environment. All your tools are there. Everything is there. What I like about flat glass is that it's easier to do, and you get to drive around and and you get to know your city better than you would just being stuck in the shop. So that's what I like about both on the installer side. On the business side of it, well, flat glass is definitely more. There's definitely more money in flat glass because there's just higher ticket items. Like sometimes you get a call and it could be a $350 flat glass job, which is really small, or it could be in the 5-6 figures. So it's it can be pretty crazy. Flat glass is a little bit of a different beast, but is man, the reason why I didn't do it for such a long time was because to go from auto and expand into flat glass, not replace, because you could easily replace an automotive operation with flat glass. Same people, just train them and convert them. But when you have an automotive operation and you want to run a flat glass operation and have both of them under the same company, it's got a lot of challenges, man. Like for sure, flat glass is a different business, and the same there's similarities between the two, but it's definitely different. Like you got to know how to schedule stuff out. You got to kind of anticipate certain things. You know, with like automotive is just constant boom, quick, fast. Like this car is in and out, hour, 2 hours, book the next one, boom. Flat glass is different. You got one house that you got to go to, and then you try to leave yourself a certain window because you put too many in the row. If traffic holds you back on one, you're screwed for the rest of them. You got to explain yourself to the rest, and then also being familiar with the working job is a big plus too, because when you're dealing with flat glass, you got different kinds of windows. So like, dual pane, low E windows. There's certain films you can't put on those. And then there's also the education part of the business too, because automotive is pretty straightforward. You want regular tint or you want ceramic tint? And then what shade do you want? That's pretty much it. It's just non-reflective film. On flat glass is a different beast because you got your ceramics that are clear, and then you have darker ceramics, but then you have your neutral films, then you have your dual reflectives, and then sometimes what I like to call, I've been referring to these as the hybrids. It's a terminology that I feel like customers understand better. They're technically, so I work with films that are technically dual reflective. They just don't have a bright shine to them. So to the customer, I've been labeling it as a hybrid film because it's like somewhat reflective, but it's not as bright, but it's not completely neutral either. It's like somewhere in the middle. And so that's helped out. Obviously, like the rose gold one, which was a freaking such a cool name change. Dude, I don't understand. Like, I really don't. I don't understand why there's film companies that are not changing their names. Like after this, like, bro, rose gold. Get rid of the bronze. A film company that's listening to this, if you do this, I'm telling you, you will be the only one that when people start doing their search, you're going to come up. Film companies, like, come on, somebody change this from bronze to rose gold. Call it rose gold 20, rose gold 35, or whatever that you want to call it. But it works, dude. I'm telling you, people's eyes light up, and in rose gold, you instantly jack up the price, and it's the same product as bronze, but it's rose gold now, so it's got a new name. So many likenesses. Oh yeah, me and Texas Squeegee are the same in that aspect. What are they talking about? What's the name of you will go out on the road? Vinny. So I guess it depends on the distance. Like, so we've had jobs that are pretty close by to our shop. Like if they're like a mile, 2 miles up the road, dude, like depending on the type of job, like we'll go for like 200, $250, maybe 300, 350 or so. But when they're like an hour away, it's got to be worth it. And we try to book those. And I actually got this, advice from the Pharaoh. He said, when you get jobs that are far away that are not big, book those out in advance, like, maybe a week, 2 weeks out. And hopefully you close more jobs that same day in that area so that you can start filling up that schedule, which is how we do it with consults too.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Sorry, could you say that again?
Oh, Siri's talking smack. There's no way I'm saying it again. No, but same thing with consults, man. Like if you're an owner operator doing automotive and you want to go into flat, like you have a challenge, dude. Like you really do, because you can hold regional seminars, a series of them. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like you got to have when you're owner operator and you're automotive and that's your business and you want to go into flat glass, you've got a challenge because you're either going to have to replace your automotive with flat glass, which already creates a challenge in its own, because how do you go from one to the next when you don't know this business and you have money coming in over here and this is potential? See, the problem was the biggest problem that I had when I was trying to go from automotive to flat glass was the fact that for me to get flat glass jobs, I have to drive out to them and bid on the project that I might not even get. So if I don't get the job, I just wasted an entire day doing concepts that I could have spent making money in the shop doing cars that are already coming to me. So that was the biggest holdback for a long time that I didn't move into it. But as you start to build out your team and people start to do like certain jobs, then you start to free yourself up, and now you have that option. Do we want to go into flat, or what do we want to do? And then whenever that operation can kind of more or less run itself, then you can take that leap and go out and do consults, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm hiring for a full-time consult guy too, because I would say probably within a year. This is the first time you're probably hearing about it. Within a year, I think we're going to have some stuff going on in Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio of some sort. We have way too many inquiries from over there to like not do something. So how do you go by pricing on flat glass? So pricing on flat glass, I kind of have different tiers. So I have like a set number for square footage, but it will change depending on like the type of panes and how far of a drive. Like I'll tweak it here and there, which is not. I'll be honest with you, that's not the model to follow. You want to create something that's going to be easy to train and teach somebody else to do it, so that they can do that job for you. But the way that I'm booking out flat glass right now is we go by square footage and then also the type of work. So on the commercial space, commercial windows a lot of times are pretty big, so they're not a lot of panes. So 300 square foot on a commercial project, you go by pretty quick. 300 square foot on a residential project, because there's smaller windows, meaning that there's more quantity, you'd have to charge a little bit more, because at the end of the day, like when people try to think about how to price certain things, you always got to factor into time. How long is it going to take you to do it? Like what's the time? And so you obviously doing home windows take a lot longer. I mean, it take longer than commercial. Just the more smaller panes that you got to do. I could, you got one giant pane, drop roll city all day, throw it on there, squeegee that all day long, done, right? On residential is pane, boom, do the same thing, now do the top. I mean, do the top one, now do the bottom one, then move over, do the top one, now do the bottom one, move over. And so I would definitely price your residential a little bit more. Let me see what other questions they got. Hopefully that answered the question. How do you go about pricing on flat glass? Is square footage is the main one. If you got to use scaffolding, have a fee. I'd like to think like have a fee for that scaffolding in your mind. I don't like telling the customers that stuff. Like, hey, I'm going to charge you this for that, and that for this, and this for that, and that for this, and this that. I'm just like, dude, just give it all to them at once. It's like, hey, this is the price for the entire project. It's going to include scaffolding setup. It's going to include glass deep cleaning, covering up of all your floors to protect everything while we're working in your home. We're going to deep clean the glass before and after on the inside, so that you don't have to go back over and, clean your freshly tinted glass. Like, we'll do all that for you. You have nothing to worry about. Just, that's it. We take care of everything else. Make it super convenient. And, at least I find more success that way, instead of trying to break everything, a single thing down. Because then people start looking at, why are you charging me X amount for this and X amount for that? It's like, dude, it's part of the job. Like, what do you want me to tell you? It's busier. I do flat, but automotive is busier for sure. So if they are not close, I charge a fee to come out. And if they book with me, that comes off the job. So that's cool, T-Town Tints. But I'm assuming that I'm assuming like you either owner or operator, or you've got like a limited crew, which is totally okay. But the intention is that you eventually want to hire someone to go do your consults for you. That way you don't have to charge, because that's one of the reasons actually here in Houston, I think there are some companies that charge to come out. I don't charge, because I'm like, hey, if that's going to give us a business advantage, no problem. Like I did what I had to do to send myself out of the shop and not let the shop suffer. So, hey, no problem. I'll go up to the customer. I'll make that sale, and then I'll hire them to come do the job. But can you expand to everyone how crucial creating content and being consistent with content? No, I will not. That's my secret. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so Marco, it's super important to do content, and I will say this. Okay, it's super important to do content. Everybody knows that saying: if a tree falls in a forest and did it make a sound? To me, that's a perspective question. Duh, it made a sound. But if you weren't there to hear it, how do you know? You weren't there to hear it. So if it fell in the forest and it was recorded, then you know, yeah, it made a sound because it was recorded, and through the content that it was recorded from, I can see it, even though it happened on a different timeline and I was completely somewhere else in the world and I wasn't there. It doesn't matter. Content connected me to that action. So the importance of building content for your company is that without content, nobody's going to know that you did that job except for the people that were immediately there. But then that memory is going to fade and go away. And then what do you have left? You got nothing. So content is super important to communicate what you do, how you do it to the customer, what you're selling and what the product does. Super important. Everybody should be doing content in some way, shape, or form. Don't look for getting a ton of likes. Don't look for trying to go viral, all that stuff. Like that's a byproduct of you doing good content. That's going to come as long as you do great content. But the one way that content making videos can instantly bring you a return is if you educate the customers on the questions that they ask all of the freaking time. So if they say like, what's the darkest but legal tint that I can go? Do a freaking video of what your dark but legal tint looks like, so that when somebody asks that question, send it over to them. Hey, what's the okay? Yeah, we carry regular tint and we carry ceramic. What's the question they always come back with? What's the difference? Do a freaking video and send it to them. Because I guarantee you, probably nobody else is doing that in your area. Be the only one that's doing it. And as you start to do it, like what's exciting is when you start to get, when you post that sort of stuff and you're educating customers, they start to recognize you. And when you're educating customers, they look at you as a source of authority and they start to freaking trust you. And when they start to trust you, they're willing to pay more to go with you than to go with someone that they don't know. People follow the path of least resistance. I want to buy something from someone that I trust. I'm willing to pay more from someone that if I know that I'm getting it from somewhere good and it's genuine and it's real and it's authentic and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. So make content. If there's one video that everybody should be making right now in their shop, is go do a video that shows the difference between regular tint and ceramic tint. And every time someone calls you, hey, what's the difference? You can tell them, but hey, I'm going to send you this link and then show them. Show them the difference between the two. Show them your processes too. There's a terminology in business called USP, your unique selling proposition. And basically what that means is what makes you different. Why am I going to go with you? If the question ever comes up, why should I go with your company versus this other company? Now, I'll tell you the right way to handle it is not by trashing the other company. The right way to handle it is saying, hey, I don't know how they do their stuff. We don't really focus on that. We just try to focus on the way that we do our work, and we try to do it to the best of our abilities. So what we do is XYZ, your USPs. Whether you computer cut, hey, we do computer cut because we don't cut vehicles on your car the way it's traditionally done. We don't cut anything on your car. We don't use your car as a cutting board. We have our own glass outside of it, and then we have a machine that cuts out the tint for us. That way there's no risk to you as well. There's a lot of water usage. Hey, we cover up your panels so that there's no water getting in the switches. Now, as tinters, we know you can tint without covering switches, and it's not going to damage the stuff. No problem. That's not why you're doing it, though. You're doing it more for show. You're doing it more because to the customer, it matters to them. We can go into a flat glass job on a house, and we don't have to put anything on the floor. And I know we're not going to scratch them because we're wearing like shoe covers or whatever we're doing. But we do it anyways because customers like to see that sort of stuff. And then you come off as more professional. The more professional you come off as, they're not going to compare you to the $99 tint shop because it's comparing apples to oranges. So it's like, yo, we're a professional shop and we're not $99 shop. By the way, one of the things that I've done that's worked out quite successfully is, have you, everybody's gone through this question about the whole like, wow, you're double the price of this other guy. It's so frustrating to see that question come up when people post screenshots on the Facebook groups and they talk shit about the customer. And it's like, but what did you do about it? You didn't do nothing. So then you're going to go through this problem again, and you're going to come to the Facebook groups and keep bitching about it, about how customers are, bro, just, again, make a video. What makes you different? And the easiest way is to show how you do your process of window tinting, whether it's your top edge gap. It's super tight. Look at the edge on this. Like Sheriff Tint'er would be up here giving me a certification. Or if you actually have a GAP certification, talk about that. Put that in your videos and say, look, we're GAP certified because our gaps are so tight. You know, they look like natural factory glass. Anything that makes you different. Hell, like I've even told Cody this. This is so funny. I've even told Cody this. Whenever, like, a part of, and I'm telling everybody secrets. I'm telling my secrets here. When a part of the installation process, we all have to clean windows, don't we? It's a prep. You got to install. You got to clean the windows because they need to come out clean. Well, tell the customers that. But you want to like fluff it up a bit too. You're not lying. You're just telling the truth. Like, hey, we have a multi-stage deep cleaning method for cleaning your windows because it's important for the jobs to come out clean. Why? Because if it's not clean, then the glue is not going to bond to that glass strong, and then you're going to have peeling over time. And, you know, you don't want to do that. We want to put the film on there because you want to keep it around for the next 10 years, potentially, if you keep the car that long. You don't have to come back every couple of years, and the prep is a really important part of that. Again, this is all coming from the educational part to the consumer, to the customer. Why is it important to keep your windows clean? I mean, why is it important to clean your windows before you tint them? Because it's going to, the job's going to be better, bond's going to be stronger, durability is going to be longer, and the customer is going to be happier. And if that's what they want, hey, we're here. You know, we're here to help you out. If you have any questions, we're here to help you out. You know, here's a video. So let's see who else has got questions. Have you had better engagement with the videos you voice over? Yeah. I feel like now this is kind of getting more on the nerdy side of the content. There's definitely like a trend for sure with doing voiceovers on video. I feel like it does really, really well for elevating your personal brand and adding a personality to, man, you guys are getting at everything right here. Shoot, whatever. It's Tint'er Tuesdays. But let me tell you something. Like, this is something I went through myself. I still go through this now, but I handle it a lot better now than I did before when it first started happening. But anytime you do something good or anytime you establish something good, just expect the copycats. Don't be offended when they do come out. It's just a symptom, a sign that you're doing something good. People don't copy bad shit. People copy good shit. So if you're doing good shit, like, you're going to get copies no matter what. So now accepting that as a reality, whenever I started doing content, I knew that having cool looking content, anybody else could do it. Just hire the right guy, the right videographer, and they'll make cool content for you. So then you take it a step further. How are we going to stand out against somebody else that also does cool content? And to me, it came down to the personality on screen. Because it's like, you may copy the style of content that I do, but good luck copying my personality and whatever that is. And you got to, and I ultimately, like, again, another cliche thing, but it's super true. You got to be yourself because nobody can be you better than you. Man, you got to be comfortable. You got to get so comfortable in front of the camera, and you got to have fun as you're doing filming. Like, you got to have fun. Joke with yourself. Everybody's got a little goofy side to themselves whenever the doors are closed and nobody's watching. Get comfortable enough to bring that on front of the camera, and you'll realize, like, people are going to start to, like, fall. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to not like it. They're going to hate you for it. But a lot more people are going to love you for it because it takes courage to do that. And there's something about having courage to go out and be yourself that a lot of people are attracted to, which is also known as charisma as well. But Jesus, that was a super long answer. Yeah. So better engagement with the videos you voiceover, 1000%. Yeah. 1000%. Yes. I would definitely say that. There's also, I'm not trying to sell myself because I'm not, these services are not for sale yet. But there is a certain way that you got to do voiceovers too. There's a certain coaching way that you got to do voiceovers as well. When you're talking about something, there's different styles, man. Like, I'm not saying my way is the right way. There's multiple ways to be right. But to me, there's, you know, if I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to tell you about the tint and it does really well for heat rejection, you're going to tune me out. Like, you're scrolling. Like, social media nowadays is scroll city all day. People are just scrolling. You got to be more like entertaining, you know, find a little bit of some fun, make a little bit of some jokes or something like that. I make jokes on, like, you know, like I did a TikTok the other day, last week actually. And I was just having fun with it. You know, I was explaining what I was doing. And I put the film on there, and, you know, and then I take my patented technique, the squeegee that, where you find the water and squeegee that. You know, I'm just having fun with it. And then I started cutting it, and I was looking at the content as I was cutting it, and I'm like, you know, the key to smooth cuts is like you got to be smooth, right? So then in my mind, as I was recording it, I just like again, I was in a good mindset. I was in a good headspace. I was feeling goofy, and so I said, I'm like, the trick to smooth cutting is you got to be smooth, like a late night FM DJ voice on Squeegee that 103.5. And I just kind of did that. And I was just like one of my favorite parts of the video. And like a lot of those things don't come planned; they just come in the spur of the moment, and you just kind of run with it. And but anyways, but yeah, there's definitely like a voiceover. You got to be unique, you got to be different, and don't be afraid of trying something new. But just be yourself, man. You can't go wrong with being yourself. Like you just can't. You can't go wrong with being yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. Just be yourself. Like, and everybody's got their own identity. Do your own thing. Be yourself. Do your own thing. Because again, back to the imitators. You're gonna have imitators, which again I kind of saw that early on because there was a lot of shops that there was one shop in particular out in California that literally took the video that I did for the Tesla Model 3, and it's like these guys dissected it and did like the same formula that I did. And I remember that's when I woke up to that. I'm like, you can't get upset about people doing this because this is just a sign of you doing something good. Just be yourself. And that's what it was. That's where but one of the big reasons why the Texas Squeegee character was born long before Tintertainment. Back whenever it was on YouTube and it was just, the squeegee flip and it's a Texas Squeegee and now I'm back, So it's harder to imitate a personality. And then when you do it, it just looks bad. So be a personality. That's what I would say. So yeah, definitely more engagement, especially on TikTok. TikTok is all about personality. Yeah, if you got a personality, TikTok is the place you need to be. TikTok is really cool for personalities in today's social media. I'm gonna move Julia to camera star. Yeah, Julia might be a very interesting personality for that. To be honest with you, she's out there, to say the least. But it would make very interesting content for sure. I'd run with it, Yeah, and like just do it. Repetition, man. Repetition. You get comfortable being in front of the camera. That's the best thing you can do. Get comfortable being in front of the camera and just make like little reels and posts like that. I said this before too. When it comes to content, don't get discouraged by the overly produced stuff, dude. Some of the videos that I've done that have gotten like the most views have been just basic things. Like you never know, so just do it. Just do it. Get out there and just do it. And so. Don't tell them my secrets. Here's the other thing too. Like one of the things that I'm not too concerned about, like about telling secrets and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you what separates a lot of the successful people than those that not. It's not necessarily the resources. It's actually the execution of things. Because it's not a lot of these things. They're not a secret. They've been out there. You can research this stuff. Like it's been out there. You can take advice from people that have actually done it. But what separates a lot is the execution. Are you actually doing it? And are you taking steps to actually do it? Are you like whatever that goal is, every single day, you got to reflect back at the end of the day and say, did I have a day's worth of progress in this particular area? And if the answer is no, then figure out what you could have done and do it tomorrow. And then do it again. Do it again. If you're making progress, at least some progress every single day, that's good. That's success. Success is the realization of a worthy goal and the progression, the movement towards it on a daily basis. If you're moving towards your goals, you're successful. You wake up in a good mood every day, or not every day. If you just wake up and you're in a good mood, hey, you're successful. That's good. Just keep moving forward. Don't put too much stress as far as don't lose yourself in the anxiety of what could be in the future. Just like hope for the best and do what you can now. And course correct in the future. You're not going to find a path as well. You're not going to find a path that has no speed bumps, nothing to hit along the way. No, every single path has its challenges. Every single one. You just got to do it. Go for it and move forward. I had this problem too for a long time. I was sitting in my little thinking chair and I'm like, man, I'll give you an example. I want to hire, but for me to hire, I got to create all these procedures and training manuals and do this. Oh, but what if they do that? And what if this? And what if that? And you get stuck in this what if world. And when you're stuck in the what if world, you make no movement. You just got to do it. Freaking just get out there and do it. Take the action. And if you mess up along the way, correct it. This is freaking just get your eraser. Yeah, erase it. Move forward. Sometimes you lose money. No problem. Just learn it. If you lost money, but you learned something, you didn't lose it. You just invested in yourself, right? It's not a mistake, you know, unless you don't learn from it. It's not failure unless you don't learn from it. If you quit, like if you're doing something and you quit because you were tired or whatever, you know, like, you know, if you're gonna cry, like cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You know, there's also a good advice I heard recently too. Is who there was this famous guy. It was a good advice that I heard recently too. Was anytime you feel like quitting, just give it one more day. Just one more day. Anytime you feel like quitting today, give it one more day. And tomorrow you feel like quitting tomorrow, give it one more day. And oftentimes you realize it's just fatigue, you know, fatigue, tired, need a little bit of a good rest. Smash a couple Bang energy drinks, get you some bougie coffee, bougie Tint'er Club, extra shots like David DeFaro likes them. Jesus. Don't hold back, bro. Teach us, Master Chef. Oh,
Hey, Carlos,
yeah.
can you hear?
Yeah, somewhat.
All right. So this is super funny. I'm gonna bring this up. So everybody, some people say that, and it's not. I mean, you awesome advice.
I'm not hearing anything. Come here, Alex. You want to be on the show? Come here. Here, meet everybody. Come on. Damn, this thing froze. Come on, you want to meet everybody? Look. Look, this is my tent family. Look, right here.
The silent hype man. That's all. Here's that dog. Dog.
He's my best friend. My little buddy.
He doesn't like me.
All right, Alex, let's go.
Not like me.
Yeah, he likes hanging out. He's been my best friend, man, for like a little over 10 years. I've had him for God. He's been with me through so much. And you know, he's like I think he's like 11 years. So it's kind of sad because I know he's past the midlife of his point, but I at least he was with me since my college days, and then when I lived in a tiny trailer, and then you know through all the growth of Texas Tent Masters and Tintertainment, and so I want to get this little guy a home. You know, give him some last good years. He's been a good dog. He's super protective. I love dogs, man. Every time I walk into a console and they got dogs, and they're like, "Oh no," they're trying to. It's like they don't bite or whatever. They're just friendly. I'm like, hey, no worries. I got a dog too. Like, I'm cool with them. I'm cool with the dogs. The silent.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Burner account. His name is Hilux. I named him after the Toyota Hilux. So. Yeah, some of you guys have seen the Top Gear video. Toyota Hiluxes are really notorious for lasting a super long time. And there was a show called Top Gear where they tried to kill a Toyota Hilux, and they put it through so much stuff. Like they flooded it, burned it, dropped it off a freaking sky. Like they demolished this building with the truck on top of it. They did so many things to it, and they still couldn't kill it. So kind of taking that name, I put it on my dog because I never want him to die. You know, he's my best friend, so hopefully he sticks around as long as a Hilux. You know, so that's why his name is Hilux.
So, Carl, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to kind of like understand what you're saying.
I don't use it up, but that's all right. All right. 40 minutes.
Hey. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining this Clubhouse discussion. We will be back here same time, same place. Have a tintifying week, everybody. Squeegee that.
It is getting a little choppy. I am kind of I'm watching me run out of circle. I definitely want to thank you a lot. Everybody, this show is not about. I know you probably can't understand somebody.
No.
I just want to thank you for showing here and giving everybody like insight of their game on everything that they're doing. It's super cool. I love seeing you. I definitely appreciate.
Oh man, it's frozen. Hilux, it froze. Tint'er Tuesday has officially crashed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa, whoa. I'll be fucked up if you get me right. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. What's up, everybody? Am I good? Am I good? Anybody? What's going on with Tint'er Tuesdays? Are we still here? Oh, that's that low fade haircut. Man, they really like. All right, so the story with this, I wasn't wanting to get it this short. I got it today because I gotta go up to Austin to go do a job up there, and I'm gonna meet a really good flat glass guy up there. But I hadn't gotten a haircut in a while, so I went there and I I don't know. I wanted a haircut like Marco. So now you don't know. Maybe I was Marco the whole time posing as a Texas Squeegee. Who will know? Nobody will ever know. Thanks everybody. Like thank you guys a lot. I mean, like really thank you guys a lot, for all the compliments and the feedback and everything like that. I said anybody's got any questions, man, like feel free to just ask. I'll tell you straight up. Like, I'm an open book. Like I be talking like this. Look, check it out. It's like the AirPods and like ask me anything. I will tell you everything. No? Marco, I don't know, man. Low fade king. Hey, I tell you what, Marco, I'm definitely letting my hair grow out, and when I go to WFCT, we're gonna hit up your barber, and I'm gonna give him a tip based on how close they can get us to look like each other. All day. Hey.
We're gonna hit it. Your barber.
Okay, are you
Based on how close they can get us to look like each other.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Yes or no? I gotta end this because this is all freezing up. So I hope everybody got theirs, and because this is literally kicking me off right now. It's the app is putting me out, and every time I try to come back in, it's throwing me out. So let's just end this right now. You buddy, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna try to figure out a different route on restreaming app to kind of help this. So be patient with me.
Yeah.
Carlos, thank you so much. Get off my damn show. I'm gonna end this because this is literally, and thank you so much again. Have a great night, sir. Have a great week, and I will talk to you.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for tuning in and asking the questions and watching the show. And shout out to Sharon Sharon, I see your comments, and I truly, truly appreciate the support since day one. So, hope you keep having some tintifying laughs. More on the show coming up. Squeegee that.
All right, we'll see you, Carlos.
See you, man. Have a good night, everybody.
Say it. All right. Okay, guys. I'm really, like almost on fire right now. It's like telling me to get off. I apologize. Thanks for being on. Hopefully next week is better. I'll be at home in the studio. On that note, you guys, and we'll talk